Welcome to another video on Think Twice. For this video, I'd like to share some thoughts on a book that I recently read called 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. Some of you may be familiar with Jordan Peterson. Some of you may never have heard of him. But of those that have heard of him, some people will call him a controversial figure, while the other half would define him as a psychologist with an abundance of knowledge. I, for my part, would define Peterson as a source of inspiration. His passion to alleviating human suffering is something that I've grown to greatly admire. And this book is a prime example of Peterson attempting to transfer his knowledge on human suffering to his readers and how to alleviate such suffering and become better individuals. For my review, I will be focusing on three chapters that resonated with me personally, three chapters that I think will provide you with immense value. So as always, please share and subscribe. Thank you. Make friends with people who want the best for you. A saying that I've heard numerous times in African households, especially within my own. Friends, in its most organic definition from how I have personally come to understand it, are essential for our social and emotional well-being. And if we lack such good relationships, our physical and psychological are also impaired. So Jordan Peterson says in this chapter that if you have a friend, right, whose friendship you will not recommend to your son, your daughter, your mother, or your father, why would you yourself have such a friendship? And the funny thing is, most of us have many such relationships, right? But we don't detach ourselves from such people because A, we want to help or save them. B, we've known them for too long and we just can't fathom the idea of life without them, right? So speaking from personal experience, a friend who wants the best for you is a friend that's always challenging your decisions. They force you to think before you act rather than act and bear the consequences of your actions. Friends who want the best for you are also those that use themselves as prime examples for what you're going through, right? So they speak from a place of knowledge and experience. Another thing is that a friend or friends who want the best for you are those that do not force you to do things that they know, right? They well know goes against your personal beliefs and your personal values. Friends that want the best for you will not guilt trap you, right, for not being there for them. That's called manipulation. Lastly, and most importantly, in my point of view, friends who want the best for you are those that will better themselves out of respect for you. So for chapter 3, I'll leave it there, but there's so much more on friendship that I think you would appreciate. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. Another very popular saying in African households. However, it's extremely difficult to not fall victim to comparison. On the daily, we are bombarded and ingesting social media content that makes our accomplishments appear minuscule to those of athletes, entertainers, influencers, right? We envy their lifestyles, fame, wealth, because such possessions make their lives appear free from want, lack, and hardship. Do you get what I'm trying to say, right? Everything that they want or desire, they can make it appear with a snap of a finger. However, Jordan Peterson says in this book, in this chapter in particular, in comparing yourselves to others, you are undervaluing what you already have and overvaluing what you do not have. He furthers on to say, there is some utility in gratitude. And he says, it is also a good protection against the dangers of resentment and victimhood. Here, he highlights the importance of gratitude. Gratitude puts things into perspective for us. Gratitude makes us appreciate our current standing in life. It also makes us realize that we're all different and unique in our own ways. In fact, I believe gratitude makes us appreciate the journey to growth and self-discovery. Someone who has more wealth than you may suffer in domains that you excel in. They may have more money than you, but they're dealing with a depression, or maybe dealing with an addiction. They may be suffering from complexities that money cannot quench. Peterson goes on to say, and this is probably my favorite line in the entire book. Peterson states, if your life is not going well, it is perhaps your current knowledge that is insufficient, not life itself. He continues to say, perhaps your value structure needs some serious retooling. I'll leave it there for that quote, but I strongly welcome you to message me if you want to discuss that quotation in particular. But yeah, that's another chapter that I think will provide you with immense knowledge and immense insight on just appreciating who you are as a person. Assume the person you're listening to knows something that you don't. I've come to observe that listening is probably the most underutilized skill that we possess as humans. I think a lot of us want to be heard, but most of us don't want to give others the chance to speak. On the subject of listening, Peterson states, your wisdom does not consist of the knowledge you already have, but the continuous search of knowledge, which he then declares is the highest form of wisdom. Listen with purpose and a desire to acquire the unknown. Listen without judgment, so that your mind is not clouded with prejudice. Listen with intent and curiosity, so that the learning process is much more fun and enjoyable. While listening, don't hesitate to ask the speaker to repeat themselves, to clarify their thinking, so that you can easily digest their input. In fact, Peterson goes on to recommend that during a dialogue, a dispute, a disagreement, or in fact a conversation, each person can only speak after he has clearly repeated or restated the ideas and feelings of the previous speaker accurately and to that speaker's satisfaction. What this does is that it reassures both parties that there's no miscommunication taking place. Each participant is actively listening and reflecting on the ideas that the other person is emanating. I'll leave it there for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, again, please share and subscribe, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any ideas that you want to share with regards to this video or the book itself. Thank you.